They say Bigfoot is only a legend whispered around campfires. But what if those warnings were true and something still stalks the forest today? From towering silhouettes moving between trees to guttural cries echoing at night, these chilling encounters force skeptics to rethink everything. Here is 1 hour of scariest Bigfoot encounters caught on camera. The hikers enjoy the stunning trail near Klingman's Dome, the highest peak in the Smoky Mountains. Their trip takes a strange turn when they spot a crowd staring intently at the dense trees ahead on the mountain slope. The tension is instant.
Bigfoot. Do you see it? Look at it.
Something is standing there. A massive, dark figure moves out from behind the thick foliage. Witnesses swear it looks like a bear at first, but it is upright on 2 legs along the ridge. It shifts its body with incredible ease. Get ready for this footage.
What's he doing?
Is this truly the legendary Smoky Mountains Bigfoot that everyone talks about? The car rolls along the flat road nearing the Provo airport as the driver's daughter films the Utah scenery with her iPad in pure innocence. The camera captures long rows of corn and the passing landscape. No one is prepared for what is about to appear in the frame. Suddenly, a dark, tall figure emerges from the dense corn. It is utterly massive, standing still for a terrifying moment on the field's edge. The sheer size of the creature is shocking, towering over the high stalks.
Sunset is. What was that?
Does this stunning video actually capture the legendary Bigfoot before it slips away? A solitary beam of light cuts through the total darkness of a Pennsylvania forest. The camera follows the frantic flashlight, revealing only small patches of ground and dense trees. This area near Carbondale has been known for years of strange reports. The person recording suddenly pans the light upward to the side. The beam lands directly on a pale creature. They say it stands 7 feet tall with a large build and dirty white fur. The legendary figure remains still. Then it realizes it is seen. With a sudden shift, the Pennsylvania white Bigfoot turns and darts back into the dark. A person trudges through deep snow in the vast, silent Canadian woods. The cold air bites and the only sounds are crunching footsteps and the wind through frosted branches. The desolate landscape feels empty and serene, but something is definitely watching. Suddenly, the peaceful scene shatters. Behind a thick pine tree, a dark shape emerges. It is undeniably large and incredibly massive. Its color is almost black against the bright winter backdrop. The contrast is truly shocking. creature simply stands there, utterly still. What monstrous thing lurks in these remote Canadian wilds? Finally revealed in the stark white snow. The camera holds steady on a thick forest in the Pacific Northwest. Sunlight filters through towering trees, casting long shadows across the undergrowth. A lone person stands silently, capturing this quiet scene. They know this area is whispered to hold its ancient secrets. Then far in the distance, a dark figure moves between the dense trunks. It is massive, distinctly bipedal, and unlike any known animal, the creature progresses with an oddly fluid gait, moving deeper into the wilderness. Is this truly the mysterious Jabez Cascade Bigfoot, finally caught on video by an unsuspecting eyewitness out here in these remote woods? In Utah's Payson Canyon, the camera captures a peaceful spring day near a rushing river. Someone is filming the scenery, enjoying the calm ambiance. The person is focused entirely on the creek. Suddenly, a flash of dark movement from the trees above catches their eye. The person reacts. The camera immediately finds the thick pines near the ridge. There is a dark figure moving amongst the trees. It is undeniably large, and it quickly vanishes into the high canopy. The creature is gone. This person kept the video for 1 year. He fears people will think he is crazy. YouTuber Mo Sargi explores. The scene is the lush shoreline of Georgia's Lake Lanier during Memorial Weekend. The air is thick with humidity and the sounds of the water. A person records the lake and the dense trees across the cove. He is filming the quiet view. Suddenly, a huge, shaggy figure appears on the opposite bank. The dark figure walks upright on two legs, clearly visible across the water. It bends down and quickly grabs a rock. It turns and throws the object just into the river. The person stares at the startling moment. The shocking encounter completely breaks the calm instantly. In a remote section of Russian woods, two friends are simply hanging out, enjoying the vast open area. One person holds the camera, pointing it at the distant trees while the friends talk. The camera is held steadily but ready to move. Suddenly, something large and dark moves quickly from the very edge of the frame. It crosses the distant background in a quick blur. It looks like a figure trying to run away, disappearing into the deeper woods with urgency. The friends instantly review the captured footage, trying to process the event. They are totally silent and frozen in shock. It is late June on the swift Upper Mackenzie River. Two men are running the wild current in a boat, navigating the powerful Class 4 rapid known as the Fish Ladder. They enjoy the rugged wilderness as the river runs swiftly.
Chris, what do you got to say about this trip?
It's from Olali down to Frizzell, very top of the Mackenzie where you can put in. Beautiful water, usually half the flow, so a little more technical. We got just bigger water today and less technical rowing, but really something you got to be super careful with going downhill.
They are pulled quickly down the stretch of water, observing the dense forest banks. In the distance, the camera captures a large dark shape standing on the shore. The boat continues past the bank, the figure totally unnoticed by them.
Big drop in terms of elevational drop, super fast. Can't slow the boat down much once you get into this business. And stay centered for me, Matt.
Later, the men review the camera footage. They are frozen in shock, realizing what they just passed. It is Christmas Day 2014, and a family is enjoying the snow-covered landscape of northern Minnesota. One family member is filming the festive atmosphere indoors. The camera pans across the decorated room, landing on the bright Christmas tree. In the window behind the tree, they spot movement.
Say Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
The tree.
What was that?
Oh my God. Did you see that?
Something's behind the garage.
A dark shape quickly crosses the distant woods visible through the glass. The family instantly rushes outside into the deep cold and snow. They look toward the tree line, searching for the source of the motion.
Oh, there it is, right over there.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Then they see it. A massive figure is walking calmly through the woods, seemingly at peace. A man walks slowly through the dense evergreen woods of Colorado, holding a video camera. He is filming the deep forest, searching for any sign of movement among the thick undergrowth. The lighting is bright but uneven, creating patches of shadow and sun. The camera remains steady. In the distance, near a clearing, a tall figure steps out from behind a large tree. The figure is covered in dark fur from head to toe. It walks smoothly and calmly through the trees. The man captures the sight on his camera. He continues recording silently, focusing the lens on the moving figure. A solitary oil field worker drives his truck through a desolate, snow-covered landscape. The winter light is dim, and fresh snowfall makes the drive treacherous. He navigates the rough road cautiously, scanning the vast, empty terrain around him. The truck moves slowly through the swirling flakes.
The world completely changes over the course of an hour because this is something that's going to unfold. It's been unfolding for months. It's going to continue to unfold for months.
As he passes a cluster of snow-laden trees, the dashcam captures a quick glimpse of stillness. A figure appears to be peeking from behind a large snow-covered tree, completely unnoticed by the driver. The truck continues. Later, the worker reviews the footage. He suddenly freezes in shock, seeing the obscured form watching him. In the majestic Sequoia National Park, towering redwood trees dominate the landscape. Sunlight struggles to reach the forest floor through the dense canopy. The cameraman stands filming a lone figure sprinting wildly through the trees toward his position. The person is clearly panicked. A massive creature with shaggy brown fur then appears behind the runner, gaining ground. The cameraman continues to hold the shot, but as the monster closes, he finally turns and flees too. He glances back, seeing the giant instantly abandon the chase and pivot deep into the shadows. Did the creature merely want them gone? A man walks alone through a thick forest. Sunlight, strange visual on his screen. Was it an animal or something watching from the darkness? The camera focuses on a typical backyard on a private property in East Texas. The area is quiet and still. The static footage is aimed at a tall privacy fence line and a nearby house. The yard appears empty and calm. A walk in the dense North Carolina area outside Asheville turns unsettling for a man and his dog in 2016. The footage shows the well-worn trail and the thick surrounding foliage. The canine runs several feet ahead of its owner on the trail. Just a shadow. The camera is mounted to the helmet of a man biking a remote trail. The scene is dominated by a vast blanket of fresh snow. The perspective shows a hard-packed path stretching into the distance. The biker slows down to look.
Be a Bigfoot, and seems to treat the invasion of the bikers with mild interest. But this is one case.
He notices a huge, dark figure moving steadily across the distant slope ahead. It is massive, covered in dark hair, and walks entirely upright. The creature pays no attention to the camera and continues its walk away. Why?
Where we have two cameras. Also catches the same subject as it walks up into the tree line and as the two bikers continue on with their trek. The entire
The sheer size of the beast is staggering against the white landscape. How could something so large remain hidden in such open country? The camera captures a man riding an ATV. The man lifts his arm and points toward a distant slope. There, a massive figure walks upright, estimated to be 7 feet, 2.13 meters, tall. The dark creature appears entirely unconcerned with the observer. It continues its slow departure. This brief sighting provides one of the best estimations of the notorious Beast of Gum Hill. This confirmed encounter with the massive creature is chilling. In a stretch of snowy woods, distant movement catches attention through the trees. White light filters across uneven ground as a figure stands partly hidden in the background. The air is still, sound carrying easily through the cold open space. A man steadies his camera, breath audible as he zooms toward the dark shape. The figure appears large, then begins to move behind nearby trunks. Snow falls gently around it, each step deliberate and clear, form remaining difficult to define clearly from afar. The footage stops before the figure is gone, leaving silence and unanswered questions about what moved. In an open part of the Slovakian woods, a man records the quiet landscape. Trees stand apart, light filters between trunks as he scans the clearing. He notices a fort made of sticks ahead and pauses there to look. He circles the fort, checking gaps in the frame carefully, then moves deeper into thicker growth, Leaves begin to rustle nearby. Then branches snap as something large moves between trunks, shaking trees close to where he stands and watches. His camera records a tall, dark figure moving and pulling at branches as it shakes trees close to the clearing. A video captures the intense view from the helmet of a dirt bike rider speeding along a rugged trail. The rider is clearly pursuing a fast-moving target just beyond the frame. The sudden chase is fast and intense, the engine roaring. Drop and back toward the trail. There is no sign of the creature. The camera points upward toward a tall, isolated utility pole standing against a pale sky. Perched at the very top is a dark humanoid figure. A cluster of birds circles continuously around the strange perch. The scene is unsettling. The figure is clearly visible, leaning over the edge of the pole. In both hands, it holds a captured bird. With a sudden, deliberate motion, the creature violently strikes the struggling animal against the top of the pole. The act of malice is brief, but horrific. What kind of intelligence would engage in such a calculated display of cruelty? Imagine climbing up a frozen ridge with your friend, the air thin and bright around you. The wind cuts through your gear as you pause to look ahead. Far above, something dark moves slowly up the slope, its shape heavy against the snow.
Known as the Snow Walker, this grainy handheld video shows what many believe could be the legendary Yeti walking.
Your friend lifts a camera, trying to focus. The figure keeps climbing, dark fur catching bits of sunlight through the glare. It leans forward, pulling through deep snow, pausing once before moving again toward the ridge above.
Steadily across a distant snow-covered slope. The climbers, reportedly filming in Nepal, spotted the creature trudging through deep snow.
I wonder if it knows they saw it, or if it is ever meant to be found. No one knows. Sometimes a walk through the woods feels simple, quiet, almost peaceful. Near Lake Ontario, a man leaves the trail, phone raised as he scans the trees. Sunlight filters through the branches, casting long lines across the ground. Everything looks still. Then it happens. A dark figure stands ahead, tall, broad, unmoving, its outline sharp against the light, almost human in shape. The man stares, recording in silence. Then the figure turns and runs, vanishing behind the trees as leaves tremble. I wonder if it saw him first, or if it was waiting for him to arrive. Between tall trees heavy with snow, a drone glides low through the cold air. Branches bend beneath the weight, their shadows stretching over uneven ground. Then the camera catches movement, something dark, large, walking slowly through the snow. The figure moves with purpose, arms swinging, fur brushing the lower branches. Snow shifts beneath its weight, leaving uneven prints that stretch behind. For a moment, it glances upward, toward the faint hum above, then continues into the trees. I wonder if it knows that every step it takes is already caught on film, yet still walks on anyway. In a quiet field somewhere in South America, children play beneath the sun, their laughter carrying through the tall grass. The camera shakes as one points ahead, voice breaking with confusion. Something dark stirs low in the grass, motionless at first.
Sí. ¿Dónde?
Then it rises, a tall figure, thin and dark, half hidden by the brush. It takes one step, then another, faster, straight toward the children. The camera jerks, a scream cuts through the static, and the image spins. I wonder if it chased them out of fear, or if it only wanted to be seen. Morning light filters through the trees, soft and pale against damp bark. The trail camera waits in its post, lens fixed on a narrow clearing. For days, it caught nothing but drifting leaves and light. Then movement, faint, slow, between the trunks. A shape emerges, tall, furred, shoulders sloping as it steps into the open. Its coat is matted, streaked with mud, limbs heavy like something worn by hunger. It pauses, head turning toward the unseen lens, eyes small, searching. Then it moves back, slow, quiet, gone. I wonder if it remembers what they took, or if it's waiting nearby. A man stands on a rocky ridge, camera lifted toward the distant mountain. The morning light spills across the slopes, warm air hanging still. He adjusts the frame, steady hands tracing the horizon in silence. Nothing stirs but the wind. Then something dark moves across the frame. It walks behind the ridge, broad-shouldered, silent, and alone. Its outline breaks the clean green slope, stepping between the grass as if aware it's seen. The camera doesn't move. Is it heading somewhere known? Or did the mountain simply decide to walk again that morning when he filmed it? Deep in the forest near Port Renfrew, the air hangs thick with mist. Light filters weakly through the branches, touching damp bark and tangled roots. The camera steadies on the clearing, faint movement drawing focus near the edge of the frame. A dark shape lingers behind the foliage. It shifts once, slow, careful, shoulders wide, form blurred by leaves. It holds still, almost blending into the trees until the branches settle again. Could it be watching him now? hidden in plain sight, waiting for the forest to look away before it moves once more. Deep in a Russian province, the woods stand still. Thin trees reach upward, their bark cracked and pale. The camera drifts between them, each step slow, cautious. Light filters faintly through the canopy, tracing the ground below.
Their excitement.
Серега, что это? Серега, да ну! Серега! Серега, ну!
Exciting footage of an unknown creature. Keep on watch.
Then the movement cuts across the frame. A dark figure walking upright, shoulders broad, stride measured. It passes through the gaps, barely visible between trunks. The lens follows, fixed, unsure whether to stop or keep filming.
We're gonna keep on squatching.
What are these creatures that walk like us yet vanish so easily? Are they echoes of something we lost, or proof of what still hides? A man drives down a rough trail in the grasslands of Utah. The sky is pale, the road dry. He says he saw something dark move by the grass, like an animal. The truck slows as he looks ahead. He steps out with his gun, camera recording. Behind a patch of bushes, something stands still. It's tall, dark, and shaped like a person. He zooms in, breath held, but the shape moves back and fades behind the leaves.
This is where he was at.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw him. I don't know. I could hear and see him moving back there. I don't know if the camera got him though. He's up here.
What kind of thing lives out here, close enough to see us, yet far enough to never be found? Sometimes a calm ride across Ontario waters feels ordinary, until something in the distance catches your eye. A small island sits ahead, quiet and still, with no clear movement, just the outline of trees against the sky. As they steer closer, a dark upright shape moves slowly between the trees, then disappears behind foliage, leaving them unsure of what they saw. The open areas show only empty ground, faint tracks scattered in the soil. Nothing else appears. Could creatures like this exist, hidden in remote places, rarely seen by humans, but always present somewhere out there? Sometimes in a quiet backyard, the ordinary can suddenly feel strange. Shadows stretch along the line of trees, and something seems to shift between the branches just out of clear sight, leaving the mind wondering if it is real. When he looks closer, a tall, dark figure stands in the creek between the trees. Broad shoulders, long arms, thick, dark hair. It lingers for a moment before disappearing deeper into the shadows, leaving only faint tracks behind. Could creatures like this really live hidden, right where we least expect them, unseen but always present nearby somewhere? Sometimes a quiet forest scene holds more than meets the eye. A camera points toward a snowy wooden area when suddenly shadows shift behind a tree, hinting at something large and dark, swaying slightly in place. As the footage continues, a broad figure with long arms and thick fur stands partially hidden behind the tree, swaying almost imperceptibly while the camera records its subtle movements. No other creature or motion appears. I wonder how long such creatures have remained unseen, swaying quietly just beyond our eyes, untouched and unknown to most humans in these forests today. Imagine hiking through the wilderness near Nordegg, Alberta, scanning for signs of wildlife. Amid the trees, a strange formation made from branches catches his eye, something out of place, hinting at more than ordinary forest activity. He sets up a trail camera, and hours later, it captures a tall, dark figure emerging behind the branch structure. Broad shoulders, thick hair. It remains partially hidden, moving slowly as the camera records every deliberate step. Could structures like this be shelters for creatures hidden from human eyes, quietly living among forests we think we know, but rarely see them at all? Sometimes in the darkness present somewhere around us. What if a calm train ride through Colorado's wide fields suddenly reveals something unexpected? Rolling hills stretch endlessly, sunlight brushing the landscape, when a dark shape in the distance hints at a presence moving slowly, just out of clear view. The figure walks upright, then sits down, crouched low, blending with the landscape. Broad shoulders, thick dark hair. It remains partially hidden as the camera records each deliberate movement. Nothing else stirs nearby. Could these beings be moving through open spaces, unseen yet watching, blending with the land, avoiding humans completely without leaving a trace behind? A male and female hiker move carefully through the Himalayas, filming each snowy ridge and slope. They pause to capture their tracks, unaware that a dark figure lingers in the distance, moving slowly and quietly before disappearing behind the horizon. While filming the tracks behind them, the camera records a tall, dark figure walking slowly across the snowy landscape. Broad shoulders, thick fur. It remains partially hidden, blending with the snow and rocks. No other movement is visible. I wonder how many of these creatures remain hidden, moving quietly through mountains, rarely seen by humans exploring them. Sometimes a walk through Ohio's forest seems ordinary, until the camera catches something moving behind dead trees. A a dark shape shifting slowly, scanning its surroundings, almost blending with the quiet forest floor, leaving the man unsure what he is witnessing. The figure stops, standing perfectly still, eyes moving as it surveys the area. Its presence feels deliberate and cautious, as the camera captures every subtle shift, without revealing any other life nearby.
Holy shit, man, that's not a bear. Let's get the hell out of here. Close the door. I gotta get out of here. That's not a bear. Hold on, let me see if I can get her on camera again. Hold on, wait. Don't get too close.
Perhaps these beings always linger unseen, observing silently, with their presence leaving questions about what truly moves among the shadows where humans rarely tread or notice. A man sits outside his house smoking with the door open, the backyard calm and quiet. The afternoon fading into early evening, shadows lengthening as the air grows cooler, everything appearing ordinary, peaceful, until a subtle movement catches his eye.
That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. Zoom it in a little piece.
A tall figure suddenly crosses the yard. The man panics, panning the camera frantically, unable to track where it goes, leaving the backyard empty once more, its path completely unknown.
This is the exact
Creatures like this move quietly, near homes, always hidden, glimpsed only briefly, leaving humans wondering what exists just out of sight, never fully revealed to those who pass. A family sets up camp on the outskirts of a tourist area in Corsica, France. In 2013, the air quiet around their tents, the woods stretching into shadows, leaves rustling slightly, everything seeming peaceful, until movement hints at something unusual lurking nearby. Behind leaves, a figure emerges, tall and imposing. Suddenly it roars, sending the child into fright. The camera capturing every second, the family frozen by shock, unable to move as the creature fades back into the forest. Sightings like this raise questions about what roams quietly in forests, rarely seen, and why humans witness them so fleetingly. A family hikes through a snowy area near Calgary, Alberta, Canada. The air crisp and cold, their footsteps crunching softly in the snow, trees lining the trail, shadows stretching as the sun dips lower, until they pause to notice something massive behind the trees in the distance. The camera only captures the creature crouching after it had walked a few feet and glanced back, leaving the family frozen in awe, unsure what they had just witnessed, its massive shape visible only briefly in the distance.
That is not a human.
Sightings like this raise questions about how often these beings move silently through forests, rarely seen, yet clearly existing. While hiking near the Tennessee-Georgia border in 2013, a man records the forest while birdwatching. The camera moves slowly through thick vegetation where tall trees and tangled branches fill the frame. The woods seem quiet and undisturbed at first. Between layers of leaves, movement appears faintly behind the trees. A large figure seems to walk through the undergrowth, its outline partly hidden by branches. The camera focuses shakily, revealing a slow, deliberate motion deeper within the shadows of the forest. The recording ends as the figure moves farther back, leaving only faint movement behind the leaves before disappearing completely. A small group walks through a wooded area, filming unusual tree structures leaning together in strange angles. The camera pans slowly across branches and trunks, focusing on rough bends and silent proof of something nearby. Sometimes a quiet hike feels like escape. Just the soft wind and your own footsteps following the trail. She moves through the trees, calm until two strange noises break the stillness. They're distant, uneven, and gone before she can tell what made them. Gone before noticed. Could it have been watching her all along, or was it only the wind? Some nights just feel strange. A man walks through the woods in Ohio. Sometimes the camera sees what we miss. In a quiet patch of woods in Oklahoma, a trail camera clicks through the night. The air is still, trees spaced wide apart. Then behind one trunk, a dark shape stands, too broad. Maybe the camera caught something that shouldn't have been there at all. Watching in the dark stillness. Out there in the quiet parts of Georgia, the woods seem endless. A farmer walks by his field when something moves behind the trees. He stops, camera in hand, trying to see what walks there in the shade. Shadow, or something waiting to return. From the still quiet of a Connecticut home, the camera faces a wide field. The grass barely stirs, nothing moving beneath the pale light. Then far out, something shifts where no shape was before.
Where is it?
A dark figure rises, slow and upright in the open. It bends forward, almost like reaching for something, then straightens again. Moments later, it runs, and the person filming jolts, camera shaking in panic.
Oh shit, he went too fast. I didn't catch him, the sun's too fast. I didn't catch him that time.
When the footage stops, only the empty field remains. What did they see out there that made them flinch so fast? And why was it there at all, standing in that field? In a clearing deep in the woods, a camera sits still, its lens fixed on the quiet trees. The wind hardly stirs the leaves, and for a while, nothing moves. Then something large steps forward, pausing at the edge of view. A tall figure appears, covered in dark fur, and slowly lowers itself to the ground. It sits right before the camera, features clear, breath steady, head turning slightly as if aware it's being watched. No sudden movement, just stillness. When it finally stands again, the frame trembles. How close was it willing to come before disappearing back into the trees? In 1994, Paul Freeman, a Bigfoot researcher, walked through the Blue Mountains of Oregon. The forest feels still, the air thick with pine and quiet. On the ground, he finds large prints pressed deep into the soil.
They capped these.
light.
Oh, there it goes. Get up here, Black City.
The figure keeps walking, fading into the green. Was it the proof he searched for, or just the forest returning his hope as a reflection of belief? A man spends his day flying a drone over a forest, gathering footage for his project. The trees stretch wide beneath the sunlight, calm and still. For nearly an hour, nothing unusual happens. Then, on the last flight, something cuts across the view. A stick flies up from the trees, traveling fast and passing just inches from the drone. It streaks by, vanishing before the pilot can react. There's no clear source, only the trees shifting far below in silence. Later, he replays the footage, frame by frame. Was it chance, or something unseen trying to drive him away from there? Years ago, a group of friends hiked near Garibaldi Lake in British Columbia. The air sharp and still. The slopes opened wide around them, quiet under the pale sky. They stopped to rest, gazes drawn toward a distant ridge.
It's not just a dude. Dude, no. Yeah, it is. You think so? It has to be. He's fucking hauling it down that mountain. This is not. Why is this so What are we looking at? Seriously. Are we all...
Something moved there. Slow, heavy, deliberate. A dark shape walked down the slope, its steps steady, balanced, unbroken. The figure crossed the open ground without pause, not stumbling once. No one dared to call out.
What's over there? Dude, but the way it's walking, the way it's like walking this. Like up. It's up. No way you can cover that ground. Yeah, you're just going down the side of a glacier? No way, man. And by yourself? And it's dark. What the? Like, for scale.
It kept moving, fading smaller against the ridge. What kind of thing walks so sure, so calm, where no trail even exists, as if it belonged there? Sometimes the eye plays tricks you can't explain. A group of friends drove through Provo Canyon near Sundance, Utah, when they thought they saw something dark move between the trees. They stopped the car and looked around, but the woods stayed still.
Oh, look, right there. Stop, back up. It was right there.
The camera kept running as they searched, filming the empty stretch of forest. Nothing shifted, nothing made sense, so they drove off, leaving the place behind.
I just saw it.
Gosh.
Watch out, you're like going off the road. Where'd it go? He was huge.
Later that night, they checked the footage. Between two trunks, a shape rose upright, still as stone. None of them remembered seeing it, yet the camera caught what they missed. Something watching. Sometimes quiet days hide things no one expects. In a Florida wildlife preserve, a man filming the woods noticed a dark figure walking toward a nearby tree. It paused, standing half hidden in the leaves. And watching whoever looks back. What begins as an ordinary drive turns uncertain on a stretch of road. A man passing by a local forest noticed movement at the edge of the trees. Something dark moved deep within, faint, but there. Between the trunks, a tall shape walked upright, steady and unhurried. It passed across an open space before vanishing behind the trees. For a few seconds, it felt like the world paused. Maybe it was nothing, maybe not. Some moments stay with you, even when you're not sure what you saw. He kept driving, glancing back once, but the trees gave nothing. Sometimes the strangest moments happen when no one is ready. At Lettuce Lake Park, someone films the quiet water between thin trees. The air is still, the view peaceful, until a faint movement breaks the calm. Behind the trees, a dark figure bends near the water's edge. It shifts slightly, lowering its head, then straightens again, as if unsure. For a moment, it just stays there, part of the scene. Was it taking a drink or watching from behind those thin trunks? The clip ends without an answer, leaving its calm silence behind. No one ever learned more. What begins as a calm walk through the snow changes in an instant. A man moves through the open field, quiet and alone, when a distant cry breaks the air. He freezes, staring ahead, unsure of what he just heard. Slowly, he takes out his phone and begins to record. The sound returns, closer now, though nothing moves in sight. His breath catches as he turns the camera left and right, finding only snow and trees. Then silence settles again. Was it a person, an echo, or something else in those hills? The question lingers, cold, unanswered, and heavy still. Sometimes the forest hides more than it shows. Deep in the Brindabella mountain range, a man films the quiet slope. The trees spaced, wide and still. For a moment, there's nothing. Then a shadow shifts behind the trunks, faint but clear. The camera holds steady as a tall figure moves between the trees, its shape half hidden in the light. It walks with slow, steady steps, fading deeper into the line of trunks ahead. The silence feels longer than it should. Was it a man, an animal, or the Yowie itself? The film ends quietly, leaving the mountain still, watching back.